I would like, if I may, to take you on a strange journey.
Alright, we had a couple things we needed to do today on the Gopher, and what we're looking for was an exhaust leak, but it seems to be that the resonator itself comes right out of the catalytic converter through an S pipe from the manifold up front, but it comes back to this resonator, which is primarily sufficing as a muffler. Seems that the resonator itself, the innards have just been eaten away from a bunch of short drives. Not a lot of not a lot of heat, a lot of moisture coming through it and stuff, the condensation. So it seems where the most of the noise is coming from. So that's good. I was just worried that I didn't want the front flange and or manifold to be leaking and heating up all that expensive cooling gear and radiator and stuff that I had. So that seems good. The only other thing we need to do is the CV boot that we had to replace because we couldn't find a stock one. We used a universal replacement 2-piece, and the 2-piece has stayed together well. It's just that it's come loose from the mount on the outer shaft towards the outer shaft, and then it at high speeds will bunch up and get taller, and it's starting to rub the back of the transmission. So what we're going to do is try and put down some zip ties here, go under this zip tie and pull the two together. I'm going to grease that up real good with RTV and or liquid tape, and we'll see if I can get enough tension on that to pull it together and keep it from pulling back and then expanding as it goes and rubbing through. So we'll try that and see what happens. Alright, so we've got it stretched tight, got the zip ties pulled around, and then I've just coated it with RTV around it just so it doesn't seep anymore. I know it doesn't look pretty, but it should stay out this way towards the axle end, and hopefully it'll stop rubbing and wearing in there. So pretty much that's about all we're going to be able to do today. I am just too hot, and there is a car show that I'd like to go to this afternoon if I can rest up enough to make it. So it's getting kind of humid. That's it for now. See ya. Alright, we're going to try and do some hopefully finalize painting on the Gopher. Like I said, this isn't a show vehicle, basically just want to cover up some things. So we're going to do some sanding, rough up the surface and where I had some of the primer fill put in, and so I'm going to try and get that, keep it blue if I can. It might go green, metallic green, because I'm using paint that I have. Don't have the funds to, like I said, put any more money into it. The paint's 15 years old and that's not a lie. So we'll see how that works. So we're going to try and do something with the, like I said, the bottom of this blue. It might end up being a bluish green metallic, and then I think I might, like I did on, I don't know if you can see on here, but fade the skulls and lattice into it. Not quite as profound as what we've got here, but just ghost them in just a little bit and see what it looks like. I don't know whether I'm going to cover this up back here or not. It turned out okay, but it just didn't quite do what I wanted. The reflective paint does work at night relatively okay. I mean, it doesn't glow like I would want it to, like a, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see if we can put in a day for a couple hours anyway. That's about all my day is worth anymore. Alright, I got it masked off to start some preliminary sanding and stuff. So we're getting it worked down, getting the surface roughed up to try and get at least some adhesion. Still got a few little spots to work my way around. So we'll get it roughed up a little bit more, finish masking it off, and then we'll put a layer down and see what it looks like. Alright, we got the paper roughly masked off. So we'll get down and I'll wipe it down, tack it off, get what debris I can that's blown around out here outside off of it, and then we'll see if that 15-year-old plus paint will even come out of the can. Well, we got a light coat, a dusting of the blue metallic. Unfortunately, I can't cover. It's so translucent it's not going to cover some of the areas, so I sent off for one can of either royal blue. I think royal blue's too dark. It'd probably be true blue, and we'll see if we can cover up some of that spotting, and then we'll put the metallic on it. So far, the 15-year-old paint is spraying and setting up just fine. So it must have been a super high quality when it was made, because it's lasted this long in the can. So we'll see what happens. Well, we got the 2 coats of blue base coat down. So I went and got some, found some, and we've got 1 coat of the metal flake put on, and you can see, I don't know how good it's going to come up on camera, but you can see it's got a pretty good reflective base to it. And then I'm going to lace it, and we're going to spray some of that clear compound that has the crushed glass in it, and see if we can give a reflective coating to the sides of it, so people can see me better. They always say, "Oh, I didn't see you till I got up on top of you." Yeah, well, now I have all this reflective stuff painted into the paint. We'll see how that works. See what excuse comes up next. Really not sure how you can see, whether or not you can even see the differences, but that's a test on this panel to see how well that works, lacing it with that crushed glass. And it doesn't look too bad. Hopefully it'll look really nice at night. So I'm going to finish the rest of this side here in about an hour or so, and we'll see how that looks. Alright, we have the crushed glass spray all down. It's looking okay. The big part will be what it looks like at night. That's the whole goal. So we'll get this unmasked, get all the tape off of it, and see what we got. So it's got a nice thin layer of that crushed glass. It not real bright and stuff, but that's good, because we want them to be ghost skulls. We want really for them to show up the majority at night. That really was the whole purpose. But there's a little bit of touch up to do, of course. Overspray, even though I mask it off pretty good, there's a little bit of overspray on it. But I mean, you can, I don't know if you can tell, but the metallic shows real well, and there's a little bit of the ghost effect comes through on it where the skulls show up. You got to catch the light just right. But like I said, mostly at night's really what it's supposed to show up, so we'll see. Well, that's it. It's like 5 hours is about a week's worth of work for me, so until next time. Well, we let it set for a day. I'm not sure, to try and cure it. so that the glass pigments, the particles, would stick. Unfortunately, and then I wiped it down to see about overspray, and like I just want to say, unfortunately, the clear went down and adhesed to the really old paint, the 15-year-old paint, but the crystals, the glass crystals, came to the top, and they did not stick. So it's got a nice metallic finish to it, and there's only like one area back here on that first test panel where you can see that the glass beads did stick. So I'm thinking that either the paint needed to be surfaced, you know, some color sand to give enough adhesion, to promote enough adhesion for that to stick, or the paint that I use, the older paint that I use, won't allow anything to stick to it. So I've still got the other side to do. So we've got to fix that where we can clean it all up, where I've got the filler primer and some other residue left over from the black. So I've got this side to do, and I'll try and prep it a little bit differently. I'll let the paint set up longer and try and color sand it with 1200 grit, and then we'll try and spray it again. I've only got enough left for one more time. If it works on that side, then I'll go ahead and redo this side, but it may not be this year, so I'll try the other side. But like I said, the biggest thing was to cover up all the mismatched paint. The metallic looks really good. At night, as you saw in the still photos that I took, at night it's just not really reflective at all like the back panels are, but we'll see what happens. Like I said, it's my daily ride, and I can just experiment with it, have fun like I used to back when I used to paint cars for a living and stuff 30 years ago. So alright, we'll see ya.
Damn, that was annoying.